There's nobody there yet.
Down.
Oh, I love that song.
Oh, so good. Why can't I have my own theme that just plays whenever I show up every day?
Maybe one does. It plays in my head.
Does it play in your head?
What plays in your head, Becca?
My theme.
Well,
when
what
I
is
come
it?
in, it's like, here comes Sam. Do-do-do. Do-do. It actually sounds like Crucified Woman from Cannibal Holocaust. Just really sad, slow guitar music. They used that song on Euphoria last week.
Oh, I know, and it's hilarious. I'm just thinking about all of these unsuspecting children
Yeah.
hunting that piece of music down.
Yeah, they're like, oh, that song is so pretty.
Pretty.
Yeah.
All right. So it looks like most of our audience has returned. Thank you.
Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that, guys.
I sang Happy Birthday and it tripped the copyright filter.
I don't know what happens.
My
honestly.
eyeshadow is too sparkly. That's
Yeah.
not bad.
Nothing in the opening I created triggered any copyright filters on YouTube, so who knows?
It's Facebook. Stop expecting it to make sense.
Yeah.
Sorry about the interruption. Gigi, you were just in the middle of saying something really great.
Well, okay, what I was getting at was rewatching this. I can see why, like, the Catholic League of Decency, why there might have been protests in terms of this film, because this is 1968, right, when the Hays Code is starting to collapse. And crime was never supposed to pay. You weren't supposed to show explicit sexuality. You know, the shot of them having sex on top of 10 million stolen dollars broke like half the Hays Code in one go, let alone everything else, let alone the amorality, you know, let alone they're unmarried and they're in the same bed. You know, in retrospect, in terms of its cultural moment, it makes more sense than it probably would, you know, looking at it from a 2022 perspective.
But they have separate showers, which is important.
And mysteriously, their hair just doesn't get wet. So I don't know what kind of showers they've got, but
it's a dry, wet shower. I guess.
He's a technology. He has a lot of technology, and he used his special technology to make a super shower that keeps your hair looking nice and your body clean.
Which apparently, you know, also involves putting, you know, strategically placed geometric shapes hanging off the shower wall and then bumping into them by accident.
Well, they have to have some modesty, Gigi. It's in case, you know, Diabolik's parents drop over and they happen to be in the shower.
Because they haven't seen the Key Party bed.
Yeah. My father is Mr. Diabolik. You can just call me Diabolik. It's fine.
So should we talk some more about the music? I thought it was fabulous.
Oh. This is such a good time capsule of like the best parts of what was going on in film scoring at that time. Mm-hmm. It's kind of got a little bit of everything. And the chase music toward the end of the film is the greatest piece of chase music probably like ever.
Yeah. Cubby says yes. Agreed. Yes.
Cubby has taste.
I like that there's a lot of really cool, like almost tribal rhythms in some of the early songs too. Like there's a lot of, that's what I love about this. Like it holds together and it's very like, you know, all the songs work together, but there's a lot of different stuff going on within it. That's what I really like about it.
It definitely feels like there was a little bit of like experimenting with like world music and like different sounds, but being that everybody was making like pilgrimages to India and like there was a whole like consciousness kind of movement going on, it would make sense that people started pulling in like more cultural diversity in their reference points.
They had those Suspiria howls in it too, like ah.
There's a lot of mondos that have a lot of the tribal kind of stuff within their soundtracks too, mixed in with like, you know, kind of this modern, I don't even know what to call this music, spy music, I guess, but you know.
I always think of it as Roman cha-cha.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know, you're at the cocktail party in 1967.
Movies like this, though, and your spy stuff is why I like the first Portishead so much, because I'm like, oh, yeah, this sounds like a soundtrack for a movie that doesn't exist, you know?
Fred, you're so cynical. I love Deep, Deep Down.
I've been singing it all day.
I want to go get the extended 12-inch if it's out there somewhere, the 15-minute version.
I want the 4 on the floor disco mix.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's crank
Studio
those beats
54.
up, like 180 beats a minute version.
I didn't say rave. I said disco. We're not trying to drop ecstasy. We're not trying to work that hard. We're staying on a nice quaalude level.
we have a little bit of a kick to us, I hope.
It's interesting though, because like I think as Bill said, like as you get into the 70s music, it gets more prog and more rock driven versus like there's rock elements and guitar elements to it, but there's something really different. It just all works. It's got beautiful people and Terry Thomas and
Yes.
with Adolfo Celli.
10 minutes, Terry Thomas.
I love the scene where he just grabs Adolfo Celli and jumps out of the plane. Bill said nobody saw that coming. And they had a lot of time to talk as they descended to the earth.
Yeah, it was a very, very slow fall. Are they both like very, very lightweight? I'm not quite sure what was going on there, but they had an awful lot of time to tussle around, have a whole conversation.
Yeah. I mean, that's, if you don't want to be, if you want to have a one-on-one combo, you know, that's the place to do it.
Just go skydiving. Yeah. Have that one-on-one, you know, above the ground in the clouds, and all of your cares will just be washed away.
Well, they could hear each other very well. There was no wind rushing past that obscured their voices, and it also worked the same way when they were in all the car scenes, where her hair wasn't even blowing up from all the wind, and they were in a convertible.
Well, her hair this whole film is a wig, so they weren't trying to let wind touch that in any way.
I was buying into the illusion, Gigi.
We're guys. We don't know how hair works. I run a comb through it. It's a day, and that's it.
Shh. You guys are not supposed to know women can shapeshift. They'll tell the church, in the words of a very famous YouTuber.
That's why this movie.
In the words of Slayer J.
Yeah. I think that the outfits in this are amazing. We talked about that outfit with all the grommets that had to weigh a ton. And then there's also that plastic dress that one of the henchman women had on at one point.
Yeah, one of the moles was wearing the Paco Rabanne kind of, not nailed, but kind of pieced together plastic disc kind of dress.
Yeah. Daryl just shared Mike Patton did a cover of this.
Mike Patton has taste. I love Mike Patton so much.
He's done so many Italian. I mean, his band's called Fantomas, which obviously Diabolik comes from Fantomas, and the first Fantomas album had pictures of Diabolik inside it.
We are live, Tim.
We are live. We just had a little bit of a technical issue with the previous broadcast. Sorry about that, guys.
Bad news. Your dates are here, and the last broadcast is dead.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
We're missing the intro now, but so what?
Yeah. But yeah, I like the episodic nature of this, and it reminds me kind of like there's a very Batman-ish in some ways, where there's there's a different trap to escape or situation, and then we kind of jump to the next thing.
It's very Bill Fingers run on Batman, with like elaborate gadgetry and like these big, exaggerated, oversized situations. Also, as we were watching this, it occurred to me that a lot of the nostalgia for spy films and a lot of what later became parodied in things like Austin Powers was more Euro spy than any like American spy cinema.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially like this and Dr. Goldfoot are both very Austin Powers.
I don't know if it was this movie specifically, but I saw a lot of things in this that eventually ended up in James Bond movies, like the scene where the guy gets dropped out of the bottom of the plane. That was reused in From a View to a Kill. And there was also, I was getting a For Your Eyes Only vibe during the diving scenes. I love the Roger Moore stuff.
Not to lure you out even more, but speaking of 60s spy stuff, there's a Steranko museum exhibition coming in Youngstown while the drive-in's here.
Oh, y'all really trying to kill me on Uber costs, right?
I don't know if he's going to be there or not, but there's going to be 60 paintings and all the original art blown up.
You're really trying to hurt my credit card with these Ubers.
We'll split your Uber here. How about that?
Yeah. I'm probably going to go to like 10 times just to see the Nick Fury art blown up.
Because I mean, if you're talking Steranko,
yeah.
Mm.
But to see the original art from the Nick Fury pages is pretty wild. So.
Oh, you're speaking my language, good sir.
Yeah. Yeah, sir. So.
Chris, I've been to Pennsylvania. I just haven't been to Pittsburgh in a very long time.
I would really, Bill, I was talking to Becca about the other night. I would really love to see this movie at the drive-in. I know they mostly show horror and stuff, but this just feels like this would be great to see on a huge screen.
Well, we mostly show horror too, and we showed this tonight.
Yeah.
I think there's a
well, that's why we have that little cult and exploitation, extra little give room. Because otherwise I would have nothing to host, because how would I show my movies full of stylish clothes and sluttiness? I would have no purpose here.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that fall into the category of, fantastic films.
Yeah.
So, anything else about Danger Diabolik before we move on to our second feature of the evening?
I'm super excited that everybody seemed to enjoy it. Obviously, this next time you see my house, it's going to look like that. There's going to be a mat behind me that lights up. And
it's just going to be all retro futurist.
Yeah, I'm actually talking into one of those TVs. You can't see it, but I have like a big mic like right over here. You can't see it.
I suspected as much.
Yeah. I got to tell you, Bill, we didn't talk about it. I don't know, because I haven't been back on the show to talk about it. I got to be inside the Groovy Doom headquarters, and it was very surreal because I've only seen it on this little window. So being in there when we were doing our secret project was really wild. It was like, wow, there's a lot going on in this room. That's really cool. And Bill does have a lot of furniture like that too. You just can't see it from this angle.
It's not totally Diabolik. It's like the thrift store version of Diabolik's lair.
Yeah, it's not what would be the less danger. Just like slight warning, Diabolik.
Well,
caution, Diabolik.
Later, I will show you one specific piece that is relevant to tonight's choice of films.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. That might be a third segment thing.
Is it the Guido Creepex perfume?
No, but that is also sitting on my dressing table.
I knew that you had it.
Yes, I tried both. For the record, but no, I actually have the original full size. I mean, this thing is both taller and wider than I am. It's about 6.5 by 6.5 poster for this film, the original European poster. I was going to move it into this room, and it's so big that it almost collapsed. So I'm going to have to move over briefly just so I can show you guys. This is how much I love this film, that I have this giant poster taking up the entire back wall of my tiny apartment.
Oh, it's amazing.
If anyone else is having trouble finding the broadcast, let us know. And remember to click like on the video. And if you really like us, share it. And that'll help other people find that we're on. We're broadcasting live to the Groovy Doom Facebook page, the Drive-In Asylum Facebook page, and the Groovy Doom YouTube page. So you can catch the broadcast on any of those platforms. Each one has its own unique chat, though. So full disclosure.
Also, if you were about to switch discussions, I'm just going to do a quick little scoot over so that I can show you guys some things.
Oh, please.
Use the blackout for a moment.
This is groovy, though.
Deep, deep down.
Deep, deep down. Okay, if you can see this behind me.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
It is taller than I am. I don't think I have long enough arms to hold this far enough back.
Yeah, you need a selfie stick for that.
Yeah, I need like a selfie stick to show this. The central model there, Ellie Galliani, she's only in the movie for about 5 minutes. Our stars are looking jaundiced in the back.
Wow.
I'm just trying to get some of the detail in so you guys can see this. Oh, wait. We might. Yeah. Can you see? Okay. Let me.
Holy shit. That thing's
Whoa.
How big this is.
Wow.
But yeah. Bondage Babe, Babiaga. I love this film so much.
Wow.
If you had a couple of those, you could do your entire apartment.
Well, I mean, there's also a surprising no one in this corner over here. This is the Japanese sheet for I Drink Your Blood.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Oh, man.
And but signed by at least one person, it looked like. Was it signed by somebody?
No.
Oh, that must have just been some of the kanji.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
But yeah, we were having quite the time. I was having quite the time trying to figure out, like, oh, can I move it over so I could use it as a background? I couldn't. It's too big.
I have a Theater of Blood one. It is half that size, and I thought it was too big. And wow, that's something else.
You should have seen when it came back from the framer, trying to get it in here.
Oh, I'd be terrified. I'd be picturing an Omen moment.
I was basically there.
Man, that's amazing.
Oh, thank you. And yes, that is original Steve. And it is Ellie Galliani in the bondage attire Dan.
Man.
What an amazing piece.
You know when I got excited during this trailer is realizing that George Eastman's in it. Very, very briefly.
Oh, isn't he?
Since are we officially kind of scooting over?
Yeah.
To like, just for context, like Diabolik was the first of kind of those darker, more adult focused comics. And it didn't take very long for there to be like a moral panic. Will someone please think of the children about all of that content? And a lot of the creators of Fumetti decided to like pull back a little bit. Like in the case of Diabolik, they made him more of a Robin Hood character and less of a straight up villain. In the case of tonight's second feature, Babiaga, created by Guido Krepax, he said, I'm going to go the complete opposite way, and I'm going to take this more erotic. Because Valentina was originally a side character in a superhero comic book called Neutron, and it gradually moves away from that into something that is more erotic, surrealist about Valentina's internal life. There are entire comic strips that are just fantasies and things that are going on in her head. She ages in real time for part of the original run. If you want to read the source material, you can, but it comes in very expensive hardbound volumes from, I think, Fantagraphics. Most of the events of the film we're about to watch are in volume 3. George Eastman's character is an invention for the film. He's a very minor character in the comics. They beefed him up for a specific plot purpose. We'll discuss that after we watch it. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. And this was another production that was super, super troubled. So we've got every actor in the film is like the third or fourth choice. We discussed Corrado Farina briefly earlier. He got the job because he had previously worked on the script polishes for Diabolik, done a small documentary about Krepax, and he tried to concentrate on the aesthetic and the surrealism of the source material rather than just making it a straight up adult film. The producers did not like that. They cut 30 minutes from the film without his permission. That's why there are a whole bunch of cuts of this floating around. There were also a lot of retitling trying to get it to be successful. Part of the reason why I can have that giant imperfect condition one sheet is because this film basically bombed. They tried Kiss Me, Kill Me to make it seem more of a giallo type of a deal. They tried The Devil Witch to make it seem like more of a horror. And it isn't that. And what you're about to see is very much based in the style of the comic and is a bit looser and a bit harder to parse.
I'm super excited about this. And I discovered, I say it wrong, but Krepax is how I always said it, when I was very young and probably too young, just like Barbarella. And I was like, what am I? Him and Milo Manara at the same time, which when you're a 12-year-old boy, maybe a little too much for your brain.
May have exploded your little 12-year-old brain.
Yeah, maybe shouldn't have read Butterscotch when I was 12. But yeah, so love his style is very, as you can see from the trailer, it's way different than Western comics. It's more, I can't describe, very.
It's very influenced by fashion in the illustration. There's a lot of pop art. There's, Valentina herself is a riff on Louise Brooks with the helmet of a black ball. This is very, very influenced by aesthetic and by style in a very like fashion forward way. There's actually a lot of Valentina art for various companies for that reason, lingerie, sports cars, all kinds of things.
She's a dead ringer for Louise Brooks.
Yeah, that was the intention.
It's funny because I remember in Western comics there was a fashion. Marvel did Dakota North, which was a fashion comic in the 80s, and when it came out, people were incensed. They're like, "I don't want to read this," and I was like, "Wow, this book's really cool. Like it was something different." And there's comics are now, especially the mainstream ones, are so gentrified towards non-image fanographic stuff.
And like, a lot of comic book film and a lot of the current popular properties shy away from eroticism. Mm-hmm. You've got all these beautiful people in skin tight suits, but nobody even really looks at each other in a hungry kind of way. This is not that film.
Yeah. What's crazy because like Manara did an issue of X-Men, like a one shot, and people were so upset about it. They're like, it's too sexy. And I'm like, why did Marvel hire him then? Like, if not to do this story. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what you're gonna get when you hire him. So
yeah, this is not that film. Tonight we're showing it with Diabolik for the comic connection, but what I usually would pair this with is Daughters of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got two super stylized, right on the edge of art house and grindhouse films that involve a bisexual triangle and kind of a conflict between modern ways of living and femininity versus something much more ancient. In this case, it is the Eastern folkloric witch, Babiaga. It doesn't take a whole lot from the folklore other than that she's an older woman, she's a witch, and her house doesn't stay in the same place.
She hits those touch points, but otherwise she defies description.
So if you're looking for kind of like a roadmap on what this film is, because it's not super easy to categorize it, the way I usually describe it to people is it's the cool blue, cool jazz older cousin of Daughters of Darkness.
That's a real good way, yeah.
Yeah, the two films are very similar, actually, and I never even thought about it like that until you said that when you wanted to do this movie. And then I went and watched it, and I was like, "Wow, this is really good." It does look like Daughters of Darkness.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say they're exactly the same.
No,
but they have some major thematic elements. They're both extremely stylized in different ways. So one is blood red and one is cool blue, and they're both kind of made for late night smoking, drinking like we're doing right now. So hopefully you guys like the vibe. If you don't, you can yell at me about it. It's fine.
No Damnation Alley hate, please.
No. There was actually some Damnation Alley hate came up this week when we were talking about the movies. Someone was like, well, I'm excited about these. I'm sure they won't be as bad as Damnation Alley. So, sadly, it's a movie that I guess I said you can't have peaks without valleys. So I guess that's our valley.
Yeah. Uncle Spooky is forever immortalized as choosing the film that the most people hated in one sitting.
The other thing I forgot to bring up, Gigi, is that Creepex had done Deadly Sweet, the Tinta Brass movie, before this.
Yeah,
which is
and
great. They
had originally talked about doing another one of his properties that had nothing to do with Valentina, but apparently he thought that Guido's style would be too complex to adapt to film.
Deadly Sweet's really interesting. It's like kind of sold as a yellow, but
I'm
it's
just
not.
going to come out and say this because I think this is a safe space to say this, but I absolutely love like kind of late period Tinto Brass, like Miranda. Yeah, like right about there.
P.O. Box Tinto Brass. I think that was one of the things when I was in Scarecrow. I sent you that shelf, and I was like, "Have you ever seen so many of his movies in one place?"
Yes. And I'm like, this man knows me.
Yeah.
If it sounds like I'm getting my cocktail shaker ready, I am.
Oh yes. I guess I should get mine ready then, huh?
I was hoping you'd get the hint.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Rattle,
We're just
rattle,
getting
rattle.
excited talking about.
Basically, we want to drink. That's what's happening.
Well, let me mosey into the kitchen. Go deep down into my kitchen.
I want to do the drink before the ad gallery because I've got a really extensive ad gallery to show you. Not about Baba Yaga.
Ah.
There are no ads to show for Baba Yaga. So
what?
I went in a different
You
direction.
mean a puritanical country didn't advertise this everywhere?
Ironically, the scene that's on the American poster for Baba Yaga is you can only get it as an extra on the Blu-ray.
Do you have the new Blu-ray that came out?
Honestly, there's not a huge difference. The only difference between the Shameless Blu-ray and the previous Blue Underground Blu-ray is that the scenes that were cut are special features on the Blue Underground, and they're integrated into the film in the Shameless. It's otherwise basically the same. The difference is not.
I was going to get it, and I was like, I felt like that was going to happen. All right, let's get some drinks going.
By the way, don't judge me because I used a bottle of Stoli. I just haven't finished it yet.
I mean, moving my giant New Amsterdam. No judgment here.
I'm not going to pour it down the drain or anything. So
that's alcohol abuse. Why would you do that?
So we're going to start. This is the Babiaga drink. It's going to start with some. Let me find my little measuring cup here. We're going to start with some vodka, and we're going to do. We're going to do a half an ounce of vodka. All right. And then we're going to follow with half an ounce of Chambord. Wonder if this bottle will open. This is going to be one of those. This is one of the ones that's going to embarrass me on the show when I can't open it. Big wrestler.
Psych.
Oh, man. No, I can't open it. My strength. It's a kryptonite. There we go.
I think Stoli is made in the United States, Darren, but it's sourced from Russian wheat.
I'm drinking Tito's, so I'm trying to be patriotic. Whatever that means, who knows?
It's all become so blurry now, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. That's why I just care about horror movies and don't care about anything else.
I know. We don't want to talk about stuff like that on this show.
No, I think everyone needs a break from, heavy topics.
Speaking of heavy, we got some Midori. Her parents named her Midori. Or that's just her name. All right, we're going to do a quarter cup of Finest Call. Boom. Sweet and sour mix.
I am going to grab some more tonic water because I have killed this little bottle.
And then we're going to hit that with some lime juice, which I have some somewhere.
A little big, isn't it?
Oh, it's all gone. I used it all. Uh-oh. We're going to have to use some lemon juice. Sorry.
Sam.
Quick little change.
This is unacceptable.
Oh, my God. I'm off the show. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right. Now let's mix that up. Oh, Cubby, no.
Yeah, Cubby, no.
You didn't use wine, you son of a bitch. Cubby, you can have your own glass. Now we're going to put some club soda on top of that. And then finally, the piece de resistance is we're going to do some grenadine. Will this open? That's the real question. Oh my God, grenadine is my enemy.
The grenadine is fighting you?
Yeah, it's like you made that horrible joke last week about the John Agar Shirley Temple with me, and now it's this. An alcoholic Shirley Temple's a John Agar. Oh, there we go. Look how pretty that is. All right. There we go. That's the Babiaga. You can have your own glass. Please enjoy. Now we're going to put some club soda on top of it. I'm repeating. Can you hear me repeat?
Oh, yeah. That's freaky.
It is. I hate hearing the sound of my own voice. I hate it even more hearing it repeating back at me.
Well, we were due for some technical wonky, so.
Yeah, I mean, this segment's doing it. This segment is getting Lestrega all over it. All right. Anyway, thanks, guys. I'm super excited to watch this with everybody, and I'm glad Gigi picked it.
Yeah, thank you for letting me show this to everyone. You guys are awesome. Cheers for everybody coming out to see this.
Babiaga.
Pazuzu.
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 All right. So instead of an ad gallery for Babiaga. My microphone's not. It's underperforming.
Oh,
hello.
Is it limp?
It is. Unfortunately, I forgot to take one of my little pills before we went live. So I didn't have any ads for Baba Yaga because it was never released theatrically in the United States. Was it, Gigi?
If it had a run, it had to have been very small and very short because there is a U.S. poster. There's two sets of artwork. There's the one that I have, which is its Euro poster, and there's one where you can see Valentina's kind of in manacles. It makes it look more like a women in prison flick. But I don't know how much of a real distribution it ever got, other than those posters were briefly printed.
Yeah, I looked really hard.
I was wondering if it played here under the Kiss Me, Kill Me name.
That's the one I thought it would, but all I ever got were U2 references when I searched that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm only half kidding. So, yeah, I just couldn't find anything. So instead, I went in a different direction. We're going to look at ads from London engagements. So these are all UK ads on tonight's ad gallery for stuff that we've seen a few times on the program, but never quite like this before. These all played in London. So, December of 74, and now the screaming starts. And Dr. Death, Seeker of Souls, which is a fabulous film that I love to death.
Never seen it.
Wow, you're in for a movie that's going to change your life, Sam. Here's Frightener, December 74. I always thought the original title of this was Cover Up. But it turns out it wasn't. I think that was just a script title. In February 75, it was back in London with Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue, which is, of course, Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, Don't Open the Window.
We love a don't movie.
Don't look sideways at that person on the subway. Hotbed of Sex. What movie is this? Can either of you tell me by looking at that cast?
Lizard Norman's. No, wait.
No. Farley Granger's in it.
Fuck.
Well, it's known in the States as a muck.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You guys took too long and now it left. Now we're looking at Poltergeist from November of 82. I love these spiritual little tendrils that are going on with Carol Ann.
What a double feature there.
This is a good double feature right here.
It's far out, isn't it?
I like how they mixed her hair and the Psych Out black together.
It's like when we put together our double features and we find some strange single thread that binds them. So it was with her hair.
Man, this is made for me.
Yeah, look at this. A porno and The Mask, a.k.a. Eyes of Hell.
You know what? I would go to that double feature in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I sure would.
Wow.
This is the most beautiful ad for Madhouse I've ever found, so I had to feature this.
That is gorgeous.
I love that.
Usually you don't see that much detail in the ads for that movie for some reason, at least the ones that show up in the States. So yeah, feast your eyes. Okay.
Oh man. Man, that had to be the best theater in the world.
You and Gigi, I thought would really appreciate this.
Yes, you are correct.
And I'm not sure what Sins Within the Family is. Shivers.
And Cannibal Girl.
Cannibal Girl.
The Canadian Night.
Well, this is from Canada. So.
Oh, okay. I thought we were in the UK still.
Mm-mm. Oh, wait. No. It is the UK. What am I saying? Yeah, this was the UK. No. Never mind. This played theatrically in England. This was the TV version of Helter Skelter.
Yeah,
I love movie that. Rather. Yeah, this was just like a little teaser ad. I couldn't find the main ad, or at least maybe I just got too busy and I wasn't looking for it. November of 81. Yeah. Oh my God. Right.
Oh, can life really be this good? Yes.
In the States, of course, it was known as Seven Doors of Death.
Hmm.
But this had the proper title. Thank goodness.
Beautiful poster. Tight too. Oh man, that's a Bill night at the movies.
I've never seen this.
Mariana Hill, who we talk about every week.
We have to find a way to get Mariana Hill mentioned on the show.
Yes.
And, yeah, this was you don't see this ad type anywhere else. This was only in the UK. Poor Joan Collins.
Is this double feature for me, Bill? Half of this double feature for me?
Don't threaten Joan Collins with hair appliances. That's threatening.
I don't know. Baby. Considering how big her hair is in that picture, maybe they're helping.
Look at this. Unbelievable. I'm really annoyed that I didn't find this before I did that ad gallery for Scream Factory. I would have loved to have put this on.
That font is incredible.
I kind of like it.
I love it. I love the bell bottoms on Michael Myers.
It's
I love that he looks like
groovy.
Frankenstein. I love that his hands are gigantic. Oh, man.
More Pete Walker love.
How have we not shown the comeback, Bill?
Because there's only so many nights and only so many movies.
But I mean, I love that movie. Oh, man.
June of 78. I guess that played the States in 78 too.
6-year-old Sam. Oh, Jack Jones will make a personal appearance at one of these theaters. Guess which one?
Don't deliver us from evil.
Yes.
Yeah, I was wondering if either of you had anything to say about this movie, aka Sisters of Satan.
I bet we could probably do a whole segment about this movie, maybe two.
I haven't seen it.
I've been on a blank for Satan kick lately, so we probably could.
Yep.
I was just surprised to see it being screened theatrically. And
wow.
Nashville. One of my favorite movies to get stoned and watch is Nashville. And I was really taken by that ad copy. It explodes all over the screen.
I've got a feeling we're going to see that Mike hooked into the logo show up in Groovy Doom at some point.
You think I might already be planning it? Finally.
Man. Oh my God. Poor Joan Collins.
Poor Joan Collins. This is, of course, what's the US title?
I can't remember. I'm brain dead tonight. These drinks are doing it up to me. I love that movie because nuns get assaulted by babies.
Okay, so here's something that does tie into tonight's second feature. This is actually the UK quad sheet. And it played there under the name The Devil Witch. And
that's
of course,
a hat.
Well, what about that first feature, Terror of the Living Dead, aka Orgy of the Living Dead, The Hanging Woman, numerous other titles. And Paul Naschy is in it, of course. So it's another one that Beyond the Living Dead, that was known as in the United States.
Thanks, Chris and Vince. It is Devil Within Her, aka the monster, yes. Aka Sharon's baby.
The Devil Within Her. Thank you, Chris. It was just right there on the tip of my tongue.
I love that Wikipedia says it was comprehensively mauled by critics.
Not just disliked, but mauled.
They were so mean.
Destroyed by critics.
Poor Joan Collins.
Poor Joan Collins.
Don't say mean things about her in print.
I love her so much. She's my favorite.
She's highly underrated in Fear in the Night.
Mm-hmm.
That movie would not work without her.
We saw that at one of the Monsteramas too, and it was the first time I'd ever seen it. I loved it.
Yeah.
That's a mannequin movie, sort of. Sort of. Well, that's the ad gallery from London for tonight.
Oh, Bill, that was awesome. Thank you for putting that together. I'm super into it.
How come London gets much better art than we did? Across the board.
I don't know. It's also much better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because we're used to seeing all the same stuff and they were some variation.
But you know what? I think the other nice thing about seeing those is I think we can all agree that movie posters suck now. Nearly all of them do. Like it's always like photoshopped heads of celebrities looking in the direction.
Anything from Poland.
Yeah.
Amazing graphic design.
What was that movie that came out last year? Was it The Beach House? Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
The one, and that poster is really nice, where like you can see the shadow going into the woman. Like that was a really cool poster.
The most beautiful movie poster of all time to me is the Polish poster for Alien.
Mm.
Oh yeah, with that weird like
orange like monster thing. Beautiful.
Yeah, I dig that too. I remember one time I was at a poster show at the Monroeville Mall, actually. This would have been in the late 80s. And I saw for the first time that alternate one sheet for Alien with the people in the spacesuit, and like the name is repeated over and over again. And I was like, oh my God, this is beautiful. What do they want for it? Oh, $30. I'm not paying that. And now I would be like,
yeah, and now you're just kind of like, why didn't I just pay it?
$30. I could have snagged that.
I told both of you guys separately yesterday. I saw that Deadly Weapons calendar that was like 300, and I was like, no.
Is it a standard size calendar or no?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a standard format calendar, or was it like really big?
Really big, like a poster size one with a date on it.
Got it.
And then they had a Danger Diabolik poster signed by John Philip Law, and it was $75. And I was like, maybe because I can show it on the show. Can I write it off? No. But we're running out of poster space. So
I know, that's why I don't get anything new anymore, because I only have enough room to put up maybe like 5 or 6 of them now, and I have like 50, and I don't even, that seems excessive. Vince says he has like between 2,000 and 2,500, which I totally believe. So
yeah.
I'm saving probably the last little bit of wall space I can squeeze if I can find the original yellow and green, I drink your blood, I eat your skin, like US poster sheet. That's what's going to go in the last little corner.
That thing is gorgeous.
I found one and they wanted $750 for it. And I was like,
Speaking of Mike Patton, he was one of the first people that I learned about those movies from, because he used to wear the shirt all the time on stage, the split poster design, when he was in Faith No More.
Gigi, is it true you were going to star in the remake of Star Crash?
Cut me a check and I'll do it right now.
Will your name be Stella, like every Luigi Cosi female character?
Call me whatever you'd like, as long as the check clears.
Yep. I used that line, by the way, on one of my bosses this week. I said, all you got to do is just put the money down, and that's all I need. I don't need these meetings. I'm fine.
All right. So anything else we should say about our second feature, Baba Yaga, before we get to it?
I'm just excited to watch it again.
For those who are regular viewers of the show, I bring the kink, I bring the sluts, I bring the psychosexual conflict. This is not any different, but it is very stylish. So this is a classic GG movie. I hope you like it. And if you don't, again, you're welcome to yell at me about it.
It's totally groovy, and we hope you all dig it and come back after on the third segment. We'll have some more to talk about it, and probably many other things too. So come back afterwards.